Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be telling you guys why the Les Paul is my favorite guitar. Before we get started, I just want to say I haven't showered yet. I just worked an 11-hour day. I work manual labor, so if I look a little dirty, that's why. I just really need to get this video done, so ignore that please. And also before I get this video started, I just wanted to show you guys what this guitar is. This right here is my 2014 Epiphone Les Paul Traditional Pro. I got this guitar about 2-3 years ago at a bookstore called Second and Charles. Though it wasn't my first guitar, it was really the guitar that really kind of paved the way for me in my guitar playing. I learned so many songs and continue to learn so many songs on this guitar here. Hence the video title, this guitar is my number one. This is my favorite guitar I own, better than my SG up here, which is a better guitar. I just like this guitar a lot more. So if you guys are interested in the story of this guitar, I have a full video on that linked up in my channel. I'll throw that in the corner. So if you guys are interested in the story, feel free to watch that video after you watch this one, of course. But anyways, I'm going to tell you guys why the Les Paul is my favorite guitar. So without further ado, let's get into it. Well, the first reason, and this is definitely an opinionated thing, is I find the Les Pauls are super inspiring guitars. Whenever I pick up this guitar, I find that I'm playing something differently than I did the last time I played it. I find that with a lot of my guitars, I tend to play the exact same thing, and that's a habit I need to break. But this one, I play something different every single time. This guitar really inspires me to get better and better as a musician. Whether that means I find a new chord progression or a new picking pattern or something like that, I'm always playing something differently on this guitar, and it really inspires me to just try different things out. And a lot of the times I don't even realize I'm doing something differently. It just kind of happens. Another reason why Les Pauls, and it kind of ties in with this last one, is that it makes me play differently. So not only do I play different things, I also play in a different manner that I would play the PRS or the SG. With those ones, especially not the PRS, I really dig into this one differently. Those ones I don't really have to, or don't really feel the need to, really grit my teeth and just dig into the instrument itself. But this one I just find myself, I just want to attack it, and in a good way, of course, if attacking something's good. But I really feel like I'm fighting the instrument while I'm playing it, and I really do love that, and it makes me play differently. I really feel like the Les Paul is kind of known for that aggressive sounding, and I feel like that partly has to do with the way that it kind of makes you play. You kind of have to fight for those notes, and I think that really kind of adds to it. You know, maybe that kind of digging into it kind of has to do with the scale length it has. And if you know what the scale length is, it's the playable part of the string, usually between the saddles on the bridge to the nut. And on most Fenders it's around 25.5, I believe, and this one is 24 3/4 inches. So I think that shorter distance, you know, a lot of people say that makes them easier to play. Honestly, I kind of disagree. I feel like they don't really play as slinky-y, and that's perfectly okay. It's just different. It's not better or worse. And by the way, oh my god, it's hot in my room. Jesus, I need to cool off real quick. Alrighty, now that I'm back from that quick intermission, cooled down a little bit, I don't know why it's super hot. Maybe it's something wrong with my air conditioning or something like that, but oh my gosh, it's crazy hot up here. And speaking of hot, I feel like now is the best time to tell you what amp I'm playing through, because tubes get hot. That's bad, I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm using my JCM 900, so if you're curious, I have a different video that kind of gives a little more details on that. I'll throw that one in the corner. So if you guys are interested in learning what amp I'm playing through and what settings I use, I haven't changed them since that video, let's go ahead and watch that. After this video, of course, again. Anyways, where was I? Something about scale length. Anyways, the shorter scale length of this guitar, in my opinion, I know I actually just got a pretty nasty comment in one of my other videos about how Les Pauls are super easy to play. It's okay, I just disagree. I feel like they're a little bit differently to play. A little differently to play? I feel like they're a little bit harder to play. Just in my opinion, that's fine. You can disagree. Whatever. Don't leave nasty comments about it. The next thing I love about Les Pauls is how they feel. Now, most Les Paul players will agree they aren't the most comfortable guitars. They're just a thick slab of mahogany with no comfort carving. Some of them do, but most of them do not have any kind of comfort carving or anything that makes it a little bit more comfortable, and I like that. They're also pretty dang heavy. They run anywhere from around 9 to 12 pounds. You can even find some that are heavier than that. So they're very heavy guitars, and again, I like that. I feel like because they're so big and so solid, I feel like that makes them seem less like a toy. And my SG is a super light guitar. That doesn't mean I feel like that one seems any cheaper, which it's a lot more expensive than this one. But that doesn't mean I feel like that one's like a toy, but this one just feels really, really quality. And that's not just this guitar in particular. This video is mostly just about all Les Pauls. But if I say this one, that's just because it's the one in my hands, and that's just what my brain wants to say. I can really see why somebody would say that it's not a good thing, that they're not very comfortable to play, and that they're really heavy. But personally, I think it's okay. And if you've never played a Les Paul, and that's what your opinion is, I really highly recommend trying one out. And chances are you'll probably change your mind, because these things are awesome. I know this isn't like any kind of Les Paul buyer's guide, but one piece of advice that I really would recommend using is trying out a lot of different Les Pauls. There's been so many different models, so many different shapes, so many different colors, so many different feels, so many different... Everything about this guitar can be changed between model to model. So try out a bunch, because there's gonna be one that speaks to you, and that's pretty much a guarantee. So if you don't like that most Les Pauls don't have comfort carving, you can find ones that do, like the Les Paul Modern and a couple other ones. Say you don't want humbuckers, it's really easy to find ones that have P90s instead. So just try out as many as you possibly can, because there will be one that speaks to you, and whenever you find that guitar, you will know it immediately. Because as soon as I set my hands on this guitar, as soon as I saw this guitar, I knew that this is the guitar I really wanted to own. Again, if you want to hear more about that story, check out that video. The next thing I love about Les Pauls is their tone. Just listen to this. That sound is so recognizable. Personally, I love instruments, not just guitars, that have dark tone. Now I've played trumpet for much longer than I've played guitar, and I never actually played the trumpet, I always played the cornet. And what that is, I can actually bring it to you right now. It's a mini trumpet, essentially. It has a much darker sound. It looks like this, while a normal trumpet would probably be about out to here, maybe. So this thing has a much darker tone, and I think that may be why I like the sound of darker instruments. Because I played this for, well, I was in 4th grade when I started learning, and I'm a senior now, so it's been a while. So not only do they have a really nice, dark, well-rounded bass, they also have a really clean-cut mid. The mids in this really shine. The tone of this guitar is often kind of described as a bigger, beefier Telecaster. And honestly, I really agree to that. Sometimes I actually kind of confuse them. And if you've never heard that before and you start paying attention, you'll really hear similarities between a Tele and a Les Paul. Although, obviously, like I just said, the Les Paul will be much bigger, much punchier. If you guys don't know, Les Pauls have a set neck design, and that is one of the key reasons why these things have great sustain. That's another reason why I love Les Pauls, because whenever you hit a note, it'll ring out for quite a while. No, yeah, that'll probably be different between every single Les Paul, but this one, it's got pretty good sustain. But you'll find some that just ring out forever. So as you just heard, the note really rings out for quite a while. Now I talked about this a couple times in my other videos, but I really like guitars that are really simple. And a Les Paul fits that mold perfectly. All you have is a 3-way selector switch, 2 tones, and 2 volumes. Other than an acoustic guitar, it really can't get much simpler than that. And I think that that's perfect for me. Now something that really simple guitars have going for them is that there's really no setup shenanigans to go through. Now you can get some with Floyd Roses, but most Les Pauls won't have a Floyd Rose. It's just a stop bar tailpiece. You just throw these strings on there and there's really not much else to it. If you want to adjust the action, it's as simple as just making sure your nut is at the right height and screwing down these 2 screws. And then as long as your neck's straight, boom, your Les Paul is set up. It's basically as simple as that. SGs are also like that, but this video is about Les Pauls. Because they're so simple to set up, that also means that they're reliable. I personally have never had any issues with the tuning stability on my Les Paul, so it's super reliable for me. And because it's so simple, nothing can really go wrong. Hopefully. They're also just super beautiful. Now that's something that, well, I can tell you guys have been looking at the entire time. Say you don't like the look of this Les Paul, there's gonna be one that you like. You can find them in solid finishes, transparent finishes where you can see the wood. There's so many different tops and colors and everything that you can find. Some of them are really pretty, some of them are really ugly, and that's the point of them. There's gonna be a Les Paul that you like. Some people maybe like Cherry Sunburst, while some people may like Tobacco Burst. Some people may not like a burst at all, and their style is more of a gold top. Whatever your taste is, chances are there's going to be a Les Paul that has that finish for you. Sometimes when this guitar is on my wall, and say I'm just watching like a YouTube video or something, and I'm not really paying attention, I'm just listening, I find myself looking at this guitar a lot, and I'm just like, dang, that thing is beautiful. And no, that's not weird. You guys do that too. Once you guys find a guitar that you love the look of and you own, you're gonna find yourself doing that a lot. There's something about this carved top here I love so much. Something I don't like about Les Pauls, though, is the price. But that's the only thing I'm going to say that I don't like about Les Pauls, because I already have a video on a pros and cons of a Les Paul. Well, obviously, you just watched this video. This video is just about the things that I like about the Les Paul. But I think that just about wraps it up for this video. If you guys found yourself enjoying it at any moment, feel free to leave a like. Well, this is awkward. As I was recording the intro, my card just ran full. So I'm not sure how much of that you heard, but I just want to say, if you guys like this video at any moment, feel free to leave a like. And if you loved it and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe. If you guys have any constructive criticism, please leave it down in the comments below. And anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.
Yeah.